Welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over dynamic in-house sign documents. Like I said in previous videos, the in-house sign builder, which is where we configure documents and templates, is built on top of the Inhouz Cloud app builder. So this means that your in-house sign documents are practically applications. This is why we say that in-house signed documents are e-signature applications. If I click on my PDF page, as you can see, we have the CSS configurator, we have events, we have the properties, we have lifecycle functions, right? So we have the ability to create an app-like experience, and we're going to experiment with a couple of things. So what I'm going to do here is a very simple, give a very simple example of what I mean by dynamic e-signature documents. I'm going to drag an input on the page. Just going to reduce the width of this to, let's say, 10%, maybe 20. Okay. And we are going to drag and drop, let's say, a text field. This is all very random, by the way. All right. So here I can say, I can put some logic in here that says, well, if this input, so let's just make this a number. Okay. So I can say if this input is greater than 2, then perhaps this text field that is perhaps assigned to a recipient is no longer required. So right now it is required. So I can basically come over here and say, okay, our text field, let's connect that to something called payment amount. I'm being very random here. Okay. So I can come over to my boss field and I can go into the required flag and I can switch this out to code and I could basically say something like if parameter dot app underscore data, and if you are wanted to know how to build applications, we have a whole video series on building apps with the app builder, because in-house sign builder is built on top of the app builder. It's practically the same. So payment amount is greater than, let's say if it's greater than, call it 1000, then this text field is not required, else it is required. All right. So when a user comes in here to sign, and let's say they had to fill this input, and they put in here 1000, well, it's still required. If it goes, let's say, above 1000, then it's no longer required. Okay. Now that's probably not the best example because you couldn't really see anything change. Let's take it the next step further. Let's say we want to hide it. Since it's no longer required, we want to then get rid of it. So we can go over here to the styling and go to the display. We can use a function for our display. I have a function called mirror response, and it just returns whatever I pass into it. I could do the same thing here. I could say that if the parameter app underscore data dot payment amount is greater than 1000, I want to display none. If not, display block. All right. And as you can see, our text field has disappeared. But if I take this back to 1000, it reemerges. If I take it just 1 over 1000, disappears again. Bring it back it reappears again. So you can think of this and you can take this across the board. So if you think of how you would build an application, right? There is no difference between how an application will work with regards to like logic, design, form configurations than here. So everything you can do in an Inhouz Cloud app can be done here. Complex logic, dynamic attributes, dynamic text, whatever the case may be. In fact, let's do something here. Let's drag a text block. I'm just gonna drop it randomly on the page, and we're gonna just get rid of the width. And we are going to increase our fonts. Let's say it's 3 REM because I kind of want this to be very clear. Okay. And let's do this. I am going to change this to some dynamic text. I'm going to say that if the parameter dot app underscore data dot payment amounts. So let's just say if the type is a number, then I want to take that number and then multiply it by 345. If not, then I just want this to be 0. Okay. As you can see, we have 1,000, we have 345,000. Okay. So as you can see, we have dynamic logic across the board. You can make form fields required. You can manipulate the values of other fields that the users see. You can display and hide things. All the things you can do with logic in an actual application, you can do it because Inhouz Sign documents and Inhouz Sign templates are dynamic. Okay, that's it for this video. See you in the next one.